All right, so we are going to talk about probably my most favorite face routine all summer. I have been really in love with the way my skin looks, so I have tried to use the least amount of foundation, and these two products right here, they're actually the same product, just two different colors, have been like my holy grail for the summer. So this is Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, and I use the shade 5 and shade 2 together. I could probably get away with using shade 4, but this is what I have, and I like to mix these two colors together. So we are going to take 5 and kind of like draw stripes on our skin. This is like not a foundation, it's not a tinted moisturizer, it is just like, I don't even know how to describe it, it's just really, really good, and I have always been a fan of it. If you follow me on Instagram, you've heard me talk about it several times, but this really has been one of my favorites for like a no foundation, really glowy type of look, and you'll even see it kind of looks full coverage when I'm done with it all. So we are going to take a big fluffy brush, well not fluffy, this brush from BoxyCharm, and we are just gonna buff this into our skin. And you're gonna see like how glowy and beautiful it actually looks. Look at that. And it's okay, I have a few little breakouts, so we're gonna actually use concealer to spot correct and make sure that, you know, we kind of have a full coverage look without putting on all the things on the face. You could also use your fingers, obviously, to blend this out. I just like the idea of a brush because I feel like I get a much more even application. Actually gonna dip into this concealer from Makeup Revolution. It is called Conceal and Define. I have been really liking this. I've used it, I want to say, a handful of times now, and I'm really in love with it. Like, it gives just the perfect amount of coverage. It has 16-hour wear, so we're gonna go a little bit, we're not gonna go too crazy with it. So I'm just gonna go over the areas that I feel like need a little bit more, you know, zhuzh. So we're gonna highlight with the concealer, and then I've spot corrected. There you go. So now we're gonna take my favorite e.l.f. concealer sponge. This is the Camo Concealer Sponge, and we are just going to blend this out and really just work this into our skin. We don't want this to look like an extra layer of anything. However, the concealer will help us kind of achieve more of a full coverage appearance without actually having full coverage makeup on. I'm gonna go over my eyes and just even out the tones there as well. Like, doesn't that look like I have a really good amount of foundation on and it's like barely anything? And my goal usually is to not look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, but now with all the masks and stuff that we wear, like, you want to wear makeup, but you also don't want to wear a lot, because then it feels like I'm breaking out. The mask, like, being around here, and like I even noticed, like, I pretty much have been breaking out where the mask will lay. So I really try to have the least amount of makeup, but still looking like I got makeup on. So next up in this routine is bronzing and blush. So I have really been into cream blushes, cream bronzers, and then kind of setting the skin with translucent powder. I just love the way the skin looks. It looks really healthy, it looks really juicy. So we are actually gonna go in with my Fenty Beauty Macchiato Cheeks Out. Sorry, I was holding it upside. We're gonna go in with this Fenty Beauty cream contour. This is in the shade Macchiato, which I absolutely adore. And we are gonna use my Morphe E63 brush, and we're just gonna start kind of working this into our skin. So you want to go at the highest points because we're trying to give ourselves a lifted appeal, and I'm just gonna like pat this into the skin and work it in a tapping motion. And I also like to bring it into my temples, kind of like connecting all of this together. Such a beautiful cream contour, or cream bronzer I should say. I love it because it feels more like a balm. Again, we're not going for that full, you know, coverage type of look. We're going more for like full but like juicy and healthy skin. Okay, so what I went ahead and did is I actually set some areas of my skin, like the under eyes, the forehead, and the chin area. And now I picked up one of my most favorite products of the summer. This is the Wander Beauty On The Glow Illuminator and Blush Stick. So it has blush on one side, illuminator on the other, and I'm already kind of started to apply because I didn't realize I didn't press record, and we started kind of blending out a little bit too. So we're gonna add a little bit more because, you know, I love blush, and we're pulling the blush kind of upward into our temples as well. So we are gonna go ahead and use the blush and really lift our cheeks a little bit higher. And I am going in with my e.l.f. sponge again and just melting everything into each other. We didn't really set on the cheek area, we really only set under the eyes and, like I said, the forehead area. So this is totally fine to go back in with creams and really work some blush in. I have been just obsessed with cream blushes, cream bronzers this summer. It has been a vibe. This little guy, you know, we're just gonna pretend he's not there. It's okay. We might even turn him into like a little beauty mark in a few. So we're gonna finish blending this out and tapping all of this in. All right, now we're gonna take the illuminating side and just really give ourselves that highlight. I like to use my finger for this one because I like the control I have. Doesn't that look so cute? Up on my finger and go down the bridge of my nose. And I always like to pop a little bit on my chin just because I feel like when I sweat, that's, you know, it's natural to have a little chin sweat, but it also looks kind of cute. So that is basically the blush. I did mention that we're going to go in with a little bit of a bronzer just to really tie everything in together and give ourselves that finished look. So for today's bronzer, if I could locate it in my mess over here, I got it. We are going to use a Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, which if you guys haven't picked this guy up yet, go ahead and pick it up. It's such a beautiful formula. I'm absolutely in love with it. So we are going to pick the slightest bit up and we're going to tap it off, and I'm just going to press it into my contour zone, kind of meshing the blush again into my temples and connecting everything together. I just want to warm up my skin a little bit more without taking away anything from what we already did. We're going to bring a little bit into our forehead and our temple area as well. So do you see, like, this side looks a little bit more lifted, whereas this side needs a little bit more push. So I'm actually going to zoom us in so we can do the eyes today. Before I do that, I want to show you the palette we're going to use. We are going to use the Wava Basic Moment, and it's a really basic palette actually, but I absolutely love this color scheme right over here, and I really want to focus on these two shades right here, and that's what we're going to use for our eyes today. So we're going to zoom us in. We have a little bit of concealer from when we were correcting our eyes, but we are actually going to add a little bit of the P.LOUISE primer in base number 2. I'm just going to use a brush to really buff that out, and we are going to use this as our base. I absolutely love this as a base. It holds the makeup so beautifully throughout the day, and after this I'm actually going to keep this makeup on so that I can go wish my grandfather a happiest 80th. I know, right? How crazy is that? My grandfather is 80 years old. He looks better than ever, and we're just gonna go celebrate him. So I'm gonna go looking cute doing that. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and we're gonna start with this color right here called New Era. We're buffing our transition shade right into our crease. You've seen me do this before, but we're basically just using a really fluffy brush and just working our way inward and then outward just to create a little base for ourselves. All right, we're gonna take another fluffy brush and now we're gonna dip into this shade right here called Ever, and we are going to basically buff this into our crease as well and really enhance that crease area and give it some more life. Well, we're out of focus for a second. I like to always pull it out so that it looks really elongated and cute. Same shade, and we're actually gonna work that right over onto our crease and kind of create a base for that shimmer shade we're gonna follow up with. It's been so long since I've done any taupey colors. We're gonna just tap, 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 tap. And I'm actually gonna go in with that first transition shade brush and buff everything out. I'd always like to use a brush and go back and forth and make sure we have smooth lines. I'm gonna dip in to Nostalgic, just like that. You guys know I like to use my finger for any kind of like metally or foily or shimmery shades. I just feel like you get a way better application, and we are just gonna apply right over. How stunning is this? Wow, it's been a long time since I used any shade like this, and I'm obsessed. Like, it's gorgeous. We're gonna add a really juicy wing to this, so it's just gonna make everything look so badass, I wanna say. Guys, don't you love that? It's so gorgeous. Now we need an inner corner highlight. You can't have a look like this without inner corner highlight, and there's a gorgeous color in here called Liquid Clock right there, and we're just gonna plop that right into our inner corner. Wow, that is so pretty. The way it like folds into that nostalgic color is obsessive. Wow. I've really been enjoying the Zoeva palettes. They are such a good buy, and I love how this palette really does have the most basic shades for your basic everyday look. Whatever's left on the brush, we're just gonna brush that right into our brows. Alright, for eyeliner, this is another product which I have really been liking. It actually is a long time since I've used a brush like applicator like this for eyeliner, but not for nothing, this one created such a gorgeous wing for me the other day. So we're gonna do probably like a biggish wing. I think we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna kind of flick it out like that, and then we're gonna bring it in halfway, but pretty big on the outer corner. And we're just gonna start filling this in just like that, because I want my eyes when open to look more straight than like dipped. But I really like this wing. It's like so retro looking. I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side, and I'll be right back. We're gonna pick up the high pigmented longwear eyeliner from NARS, and this is in the shade Via Veneto. I always have a hard time pronouncing their stuff. And we are just going to line the bottom lash line just like that. And then we are going to take a pencil brush, buff that in so it doesn't look so harsh. And then we're actually going to grab the shade, that shimmery shade, Nostalgic, that we used up there. Line the bottom lash line using a little bit of Nostalgic just to tie in this entire look, just like that. Such a hot vibe. All right, we don't have bottom mascara on, so I'm actually gonna go pretty heavy on my bottom mascara. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna zoom us out, and then we're gonna finish off with the lips. For the lips, I'm thinking to do something like peachy. So we're gonna go ahead and line our lips using Bodyography lip liner in the shade Pouty, and I'm just gonna go ahead and super zoom us into a lip liner. All right, now that the lips are lined, we're gonna pick up Dose of Color lipstick in the shade Glazed, and we're lightly gonna tap it because it's very pigmented over. Just like that. Okay, we're gonna pick up Bodyography again and just line it a little bit more. Oh my god, this gives me like seriously old school vibes. 100% old school vibes. We're just gonna pick up a little bit of this Artist Couture lip gloss. This is in the shade Peep Show. Just apply it into the center. just like that. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Let's set our skin. We're gonna use this Makeup Revolution setting spray, which I've also been really loving. Shake it up, and then I just love the way this came out. It's like, look how glowy the skin looks, and the eyes look so beautiful. Like, I just want to go out right now. So as you guys can see, the skin is not with a full coverage foundation. However, it looks like it's all really melted well into each other, and I just love the idea that my skin really just feels super light right now, and it doesn't feel like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. And you know, it's gonna look really cute when I have my mask on, because the eyes are gonna be the statement, and then the face is just gonna look cute in or out of the mask. Really appreciate you guys sticking around and watching me today. You guys know that all the products will be listed down below. So I had fun. I'm gonna go and enjoy my grandfather's birthday now, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Mwah! Seriously, I love the way I look. I think I'm gonna go take photos of this also. Like, all I want to do is do this with my eyes. Alright guys, bye.